more information and get more clarity on this topic. Actually, this is extremely easy topic and it's very recently in Dreamforce 2023. Actually, Salesforce introduced the Anypoint Code Builder, and that is very it's a kind of modern ID integrated development environment in MuleSoft Anypoint platform, and that's also with the Einstein capability. So I recently in the February, it's still in the beta version they launched, but in February they had launched the beta version. In recently in June they have added the new features and the new release upgraded version of the Anypoint Code Builder. Still it's a beta version, but in the end of this year you will see lot more capabilities than the current released version, along with the Einstein capabilities, and with the full Anypoint Code Builder version will be launched and in early 2025, but that is with the generative AI Einstein capability. So uh, we are really excited to present you on this topic, and my co-lead Nirmala is going to give the demo as well. So I will quickly cover the topics first. What is Anypoint Code Builder, and what what the features and how it is in the Anypoint platform. So let's start with the topic. So today's topic is Anypoint Code Builder. Next is the safe harbor and housekeeping statements that we usually say in every meetup. So I'll quickly go through it. First point is both speaker and host are organizing this meetup in individual capacity only. We are not representing our companies here. This presentation is strictly for learning purposes only. Organizer or presenter do not hold any responsibility that the same solution will work for your business requirements. This presentation is not meant for any promotional activities. We are just discussing here the latest features of the Anypoint Code Builder. Um, a recording of this meetup will be uploaded to events page within 24 hours. So you can go through the recordings again and share your feedback with us. Questions can be submitted or asked anytime in the chat or Q&A tab. So please feel free to put your questions, and my co-leads will be happy to answer you along during the meetup, and even we can address the questions after the once we covered the topic and present the demo. Last but not the least is give us your feedback. That is very important to us. Feel free to provide your suggestions for any topic you want us to go through in the next upcoming meetups. We try to schedule the meetups either 4 or 6 meetups per year, but we would like to hear more feedback. What's your interest, what you want to hear from us, and what kind of guidance and suggestions you need, and how we can help you out more through the through this meetup platform. And absolutely it's a great chance to do the networking and learn and share the knowledge with us as well. So that's a great opportunity for the audience and as well as the organizers and the host of the meetup. So now we are looking forward for your support as well. So let's start with the topic. So first I'll go through quickly Anypoint Code Builder. So as I said previously, it's a net API and integration development. So far we have seen in the Anypoint platform, that is the development. Mostly we have done development with the Anypoint Studio, that is the IDE, integrated development environment for the MuleSoft. But this Anypoint Code Builder is recently introduced, and it's a very modern integrated development environment. It's a cloud native cloud native tooling powered by Visual Studio Code. In Anypoint Code Builder, it has the power and flexibility of the Visual Studio Code that combined with the Anypoint extension pack that provides a modern integration developer experience. So this modern IDE is very easy to use, customizable interface, syntax highlighting, debugging tools, and seamless integration with the external tools like version control. All that we can cover in the next slides. So Anypoint Code Builder uh, you can use the Anypoint Code Builder in your favorite browser. You don't have to sit on the desktop or in your office. You can even access Anypoint Code Builder from your iPad, and you can sit anywhere and you can work from anywhere. That's the flexibility came as a package with the Anypoint Code Builder, I would say. The IDE is very easy to use and customizable. You just need to log in to your Anypoint platform account, and you are ready to design your APIs using OS, and you can implement the APIs using the graphical editor. Test your implementations with a debugger and deploy them in very few minutes. So these are the great features of the Anypoint Code Builder. So basically, it's a very modern integrated development environment. It's a cloud native. You can design your APIs, you can develop and deploy APIs from from a single environment. You can integrate intelligently with the power of AI. Means here with the Anypoint Code Builder, Einstein capabilities are available. So and Einstein is inbuilt with the Anypoint Code Builder. That we'll see in the next slides. The great feature of the Einstein AI and the power of AI. You can integrate it with the code builder, so it makes the developer's life very easy. Um, okay, so first feature is it's a modernized integrated development environment, and it's a next generation of API integrated development environment as well. That is powered by Visual Studio Code. So there are two versions. You can run in desktop using the Visual Studio Code environment, or you can run in cloud from Anypoint platform. So that feature will be available in early 2025, but you can run Anypoint Code Builder in desktop using Visual Studio Code environment currently. Next feature is you can design, develop, and deploy from a single environment. So the feature is, so this is the great feature that as we were doing earlier in Anypoint platform, we were designing the API in the design center, we were developing the API in the Anypoint Studio IDE, and we were deploying the API in the Cloud Hub, uh, and we were publishing into Anypoint Exchange, right? So for that, we were using the multiple components of the Anypoint platform. First is the design center, then Anypoint Exchange, then Anypoint Studio, and then we were deploying in the Cloud Hub. So all the in Anypoint Code Builder, all the components were combined. You can design the API, you can develop the API, you can implement the API, and you can deploy the API within a single environment. So that's again the great feature came with the Anypoint Code Builder. Next is the Einstein for Anypoint Code Builder. So now in Anypoint Studio, Einstein capabilities were not in this Anypoint Code Builder. You can have the great feature for the Einstein capabilities, that you can develop the APIs intelligently with the power of generative AI. You just need to for you can create the generative flows, and you can, in that way you can easily write the prompts as shown in the figure, you can start developing the APIs. You just need to give the prompts, the kind of API you want, and the kind of flow you want to generate for the API, and it will create the flows as per the prompts described in the description. So that is our Einstein capabilities. You can jumpstart your development by using natural language to generate the code for integration flows and optimizations for Salesforce databases, HTTP, email, etc. So this feature will come in early 2025. So let's see the three major steps of Anypoint Code Builder before we go through the yeah. So first, let's go through the Anypoint Code uh, the three major steps of Anypoint Code Builder for designing for an API, building an API. First is the design, as we generally do in the first we design the API, because we follow the design first approach in building the API, and that is our main goal is to uh, follow the API led architecture and API led integrations. So we first focus on the designing the API as we normally do. So that we are doing in the design center. In the Anypoint Code Builder, here you can see so first here you can see that you can this is the flow they have shown in the video snippet, that you can define, you can choose either RAML or AS, where in which language you want to define your API specifications. After then you can put the complete RAML code in the canvas, and then you can also do the mock testing of your API, as we were doing mocking in the design center itself. So it's the same steps you're going to follow, but here the everything is combined into the one into at one place. And here you can see in the left pane, the version control capabilities is also in along with the Visual Studio Code. The Git out of the box features are available, so you can directly commit your code in the version control. Again, you observe this very carefully. So first you are defining the API specification, and you are choosing the language, either RAML or OAS. You give the title of your API specification, and you paste the RAML code of your API specification. After then you perform the mock test of your API specification, and then it also it has the integration with the Anypoint Exchange. So once you can directly publish into Anypoint Exchange and also commit the code into version control. It also as the same as the design center features. It also auto generate the interactive documentation. It has here you can see, you can choose the command to publish the API into publish the API. So you choose, and you once you choose yes or no, it will it will implement the API. So you can test the API specification using the mocking service as well. So this comes in the designing step. Now we'll quickly go through the second step, that is the implement. So in the implementation, you know you it is the same as the implementation that we are doing in Anypoint Studio, but here you can have the implementation experience in the Anypoint Code Builder itself. It gives graphical flow editor, and as well as it It builds the API. You can build, debug, run, and deploy the API at the same time. Also, it imports the specification, and also you can scaffold features are also available for the implementation. Here you can see this is the canvas where you can craft the integration flow. On the right side there is XML editor pane, so you can edit the XML. The great feature of this is you can have the reusable code snippets. So you can those code snippets are reusable, and you can use in your other projects as well. Here you can see uh, how it includes the connectors. Uh, so code builder has inbuilt connectors as well, and also has the also has the capability feature to import the connectors from the exchange as well. And also Studio itself has a debugging tools and lots of extensions available that you can use in the Anypoint Code Builder. So this is a great feature that you can have the lots of capability, much more than you were doing in the Anypoint Studio previously. The third step is to develop the API. So along with the implementation, so you can have the you can you can write the code snippets that is reusable. You can reuse those snippets in the other projects of the organization as well. You can have access to hundreds of connectors in the exchange, so you can use the inbuilt connectors, and also you can have the other connectors available from the exchange as well. You can choose how to develop with desktop and cloud IDE options. You can directly build your API in the cloud uh, IDE, or you can develop in the desktop version as well. So this is a great feature that provides a great capability for the developers who are actually developing, that makes the developers life so easier, because it has the features of graphical canvas. It has the new command palette that you can select the various commands that we'll see in the demo when Nirmala will present us the demo, that you can see the various command palette available in that is the focal features of the developing in Visual Studio Code. So once you open the command palette to access all the MuleSoft specific commands that help you design, build, and test your Mule applications. Snippets, as I said earlier, we have the new feature that is reusable code snippets. Data view. So data view, as we all know that data view is the programming language that is designed by MuleSoft, and it is used to accessing and transforming the data travels through the Mule application. So code builder provides the ability to interact with the data view libraries and preview the transformation live. So and test mocking service. So all these are great features. Along with that, in last June, we have the updated version of Anypoint Code Builder. In that, there are additional new features available, and those are really great because first one is data view expression builder. With that, you can simplify the data transformation across the systems. Second is support for existing unit tests. So that is for so exist. So with the latest update, you can Anypoint Code Builder that supports the running existing unit test. Any unit test, whether it's a new or previously built in Studio, you can now easily utilize Anypoint Code Builder to run with your projects. So that's That also allows the automated testing directly within the ACB. So that's a great feature. You can validate the integrations with the unit test cases. Third one is enhanced support for custom Java. So ex, it Anypoint Code Builder also extend and enhance your integrations with the custom Java code, and that helps developers to bring the enhanced support into Anypoint Code Builder. Java module, now it comes with a pre-bundled and make it very developers life so easier that to get it started. User can create new Java classes or add existing Java packages to their new projects, and it provides a very streamlined experience to the development engineers whoever they don't need to. It offers to use a configuration panel to select desired classes and methods and set additional arguments of Java invocations. Third one is increasing performance across the integration projects. So that is because it has additional support, additional Mule runtimes and Java versions available. So now it supports the Mule runtime 4.4, 4.6, and 4.7, and also supports the Java version 11 and 17. The last one is API. It has the great update is government rule sets for the API design. So because the API governance is very crucial and it's also very challenging uh, for any organization in scaling. So to uh, address that concern, they have introduced the governance rule sets for API design in Anypoint Code Builder. So by that, it becomes so powerful capability. With that feature, you can ensure the compliance with their organization's governance rule sets while designing the new REST API specifications directly in the code builder. So these are the great features uh, came in the June release, and there are many new features coming along with the Einstein capability in October of this year and also the early 2025. So, and that in early 2025, that will be a complete Anypoint Code Builder so that so these are the this is all about the Anypoint Code Builder, and you can find lot more content on Anypoint Code Builder in the newsroom post, in the release MuleSoft blogs, in the trailhead. It's just in the trailhead. It's only the 5 minute. You can spend only 5 minutes, and it will give you the great information about the Anypoint Code Builder. Spotlight video you can watch. You can download the Anypoint Code Builder and you can try the desktop version, and you can see the web pages, and you can also see the Twitch channel and go to the deep dive into ACB. So now I would like to invite Nirmala to present a demo on, and with the with the example you can exactly know how you can use the Anypoint Code Builder. You don't need any additional account. You just need your Anypoint platform account. You can access the Anypoint Code Builder. So I would like to give the uh, I would like to invite Nirmala and ask her to share her screen and present the demo, please. Before that, I would like to ask, and if you guys have any point code builder, I would be happy to answer the questions. You can also write the questions in the chat.
Hi Sonali, thank you so much for the detailed information about the ACB June release. Can I grab the screen, Sonali? Can you stop
Yeah, please.
sharing? Yeah, thank you.
You already have the presenter mode. I'll stop sharing my
Mhm.
screen, Nirmala.
Yeah,
So yeah,
sure,
go ahead and
Sonali.
yeah, sure.
I don't see the share screen option enabled yet now. Maybe if you stop sharing, I could able to see. Yeah, I can see now. Let me know once you can all see my screen.
Yeah, we can see your.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Sonali. Hello, all. So, just Sonali already has given more detail about the ACB and the ACB June release. This particular demo, what I'm showing in my screen, just it's a small API. Whatever the API you currently design in your Anypoint Studio should be working in your Visual Studio ACB as well, Anypoint Code Builder as well. Only thing is, if you have if you want to design your Anypoint testing, if you are designing M units for any of the flows, that alone you cannot be designing in the ACB. But whatever you create, you whatever the test plan test units you have created already in Anypoint Studio could be working in the Visual Studio Code, the ACB code builder. Just to start with, this as Sonali mentioned, if you see, this is the uh, I just thought I can more emphasize or highlight more on the June release, but just to give an overview, if you want to start development in the Anypoint Code Builder, there's an extension pack. If you see, there's a lot of extensions available. If you go here, you can search for Anypoint extension package for Anypoint Code Builder, which I already installed, so that I'm not seeing that right away. But if you are new and if you want to start for developing Anypoint Code Builder, you just need to add this extension package for Anypoint Code Builder. This is extension package for Java. I can say Anypoint Code Builder. Yeah, if you see here, right, this is the Anypoint Code Builder extensions. This is the Anypoint extension package. Since I already installed, it is showing as disable or uninstall. But if you are trying it new, you would be seeing an option called install. So once this is installed, you would be seeing a MuleSoft logo, Anypoint Code Builder lying over here. If you click on this logo, you can see either you can design an API, or you can implement the existing designed API, or you can develop an integration here directly. So with that, you can whatever the design that you are trying to do. For example, if you are already a MuleSoft developer, and if you have started development, if you want to start a new API development, all we all know that first thing we will be doing, if it is a synchronous API, we would be designing a RAML, we'll be designing the API specification, and once it is done, we will be publishing that into Exchange, and we would be start developing in our Anypoint Studio. That's how normally we will do, right? But in this case, this is a one-stop shop where everything is available already ready made. Where if you want to design an API, you can just give the project name, what project name, and where to store the. Not just for the demo purpose, I've done this already, but this is how you have to do. If you can give the project name, for example, if it is ACB demo, I can show you. If it is ACB demo Chicago Meetup, Chicago, if you want to do that, and it will ask you for, as Sonali mentioned, there could be different versions. Normally, we'll take RAML 1.1. And if you want to create a project, it automatically creates a project. I do have one already created for you. I can share that. One second, I can. This is, yeah, this is ACB. This is a kind of raml, right? This is how we supposed to create a specification where this is a resource, and what is the method. This is a get method API, and this is how we will be developing any API specification. If you want to have any Data types, we can add it. If you want to add some examples, you can add it. All these things can be done inside the Anypoint Code Build. That is the one major advantage. Instead of you going switching between the platform and studio, it is one place. Once it is done, you can publish it into the Anypoint Design Center as well as in the Anypoint Exchange. If you see here, if I want to publish it, I can just search for publish command. Want to publish, it will ask me whether this publish MuleSoft has to be published to Exchange. If I do that, it will ask me the name, version, asset ID, version of this particular API, and everything will be done. And you can easily publish that into Exchange. If you see here, I can show I have already done that. In one of my, just want to show that screen, and somehow this is not open here. Yeah, can you see my screen? This window screen.
Yes, Nirmala.
Okay. So this is how the demo, how we normally do, right? This is a cloud version of API. One second, I'll try to log in into my Anypoint platform. If you see here, go to Design Center. You can able to see the demo which I've done, which I just published in the API Design Center, in the Design Center from my Anypoint Code Builder. So from here, you can design it, you can publish, send it to Design Center, or if you want to publish into Exchange, that also you can do it in their Exchange. If you see here, you can publish directly from your Anypoint Code Builder to Exchange. This is how the first step of API design can be done, which we, this is not new. Actually, this is what we have done it so long as a developer. But this within this Anypoint Code Builder, it is already available. It is so easy for you. It is readily available. You can just add the raml, you can write on the raml, you can create the examples, and you can see if you want to mark it, you can just mark it. And here you can see here how the marking works, and just you can just go on. You can see what is how this literally the screen what you see in the Design Center could be visible over here. You can just try it, you can mark it and see what is required, what is the response format, what is response structure looks like. Everything can be done. This is first part of Design Center. And we all know nowadays we our organizations are enforcing on governance. And if it is not conformant, if it's not conformant, then we can't even work on it, right? We want to, in order to develop the proper HTTP proper API, we want the governance rule sets to be followed, right? We are following the rule set. For example, in this case, I'll just, if you see here, this is the governance rule sets. If I want to add any of the governance rule set, that's an option called, there's a plus symbol near the governance rule sets, where you can try and search for any of the rule sets that you want to add. You want to adhere or you want to follow in your design set, that you can add it. And you can see whether your design, whatever the raml specification that you have designed, is compliant. For example, if you want to test on all, for example, I've added the API documentation best practices, HTTPS enforcement, Anypoint best practices. If I want to see whether my API, whatever the API specification which I've designed, is compliant with these rule sets or not. For example, for me, API documentation best practices, HTTP enforcement, catalog, all are good, but this Anypoint best practice is showing an error. This is specifically, I just kept it as an error. I just want to see, it says, the error says the resource uses lowercase. If I go here, if I go to this particular error message, it will directly show me which place, in exactly which place the error is available, error is there, and it allow me to change that particular. See, if you see here, this is get address should be lowercase. See, this exactly points out where the error is happening and what change I need to make it. If I go here and I just make this to be a lowercase, the resource to be a lowercase, and if I rerun it, you can run each and every individual rule sets to see what is failing, what is running, what is successful, everything you can run. If you see here, this is not coming out. See, the warning, the error has gone for that. The resource lower resource case error is gone. Do you have any doubt in this?
Any
This is
questions
actually,
so far?
yeah. Mhm.
If anybody has any questions so far in the demo, please feel free to bring the question.
Okay, this is the sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Nirmala, please go ahead.
Mhm. So this is the first part of the design portion. Now, if you want to implement a API, we have completed the design. Now, if you want to implement a API, normally what we will do is we will be logging, we will be opening, we will be generating flows from the Anypoint Design Center, and we'll be start developing, right? So similarly, we can even we can do the same thing in Anypoint Code Builder. I'll just open one of the demo, whichever I've done it already. I've just designed it already. Just to save time, I've done it already. So, for example, this is your Anypoint Code Builder, which looks like, right. So, if you want to first step, if you want to understand what is a mule Java version which is I'm currently using it, or what is the any of the properties. If you want to know about the properties, you can. This is the ACB demo, right? This is the flow, XML flow, where you can right click on it. There is an option called project properties. If you click on the project properties, it will show what is the mule runtime this particular code is running on, and what is the Java version. If the Java version whatever you're using is not uh, complain, if you want to do a different Java version, that's an option for you to select between 11 and 7. Similarly, there's a mule runtime where you can have a different option for 4.4, 4.6, 3, 6.3, and 4.7 options. So you have an option where it automatically, when you try to select it, it will, you need not go and download some place and you want to install it. For example, if it is a Java, you remember we had to go to Java Oracle site where we have to download it, we have to install it, where we have to set our path, Java path, everything. Right? Those things is not at all needed in any point code builder, where we have easily we can download it here. It automatically downloads and sets the path. This is the major advantage of setting the mule runtime and Java version. Similarly, we have another option called connectors, where these connectors, if you want to update the connector version, you can simply select the versions here. If you want to go back to the previous version, or if you want to go back to the latest version, you can select the connector and you can select the versions over this. It automatically gets installed. So this is the advantage of everything is in place. It is all, I think, background. It's all um, instant running, or we don't know exactly what is happening behind the scene, but it is so readily available. You can easily install it. Everything is on hand, like it is readily available to you. uh, Not to see the demo, right? If you want to see, if this is the exact flow, small flow which I've designed it, where it has a HTTP listener. If you click on the listener portion, if you click on it, it will ask me for the listener configuration. So this configuration, either you can create it how normally we do in a development. We can create a global file. You can place a you can place this HTTP listener configuration over there. This is listener configuration where I am having it, where it is showing me. See, that's an option called test connection, where I can go do a test connection on this HTTP listener, and you can set up the port. But only thing is, you need to write it. You need to write which port, or which uh, exactly to which port it has to be connected. Everything has to be written in XML. Normally, we will be doing it in GUI, right, in Anypoint Studio. So here we have to write it in XML. But the thing is, we all are now, so as of now, we are having so much experience in developing a API in Anypoint Studio. So it's all straightforward. We can just, even if you're not sure, you can just put a HTTP listener over here in the studio, and you can directly copy and paste the HTTP listener configuration from the studio until we get used to the code. And second thing is the path. So this is the path we normally call, right? Whenever we want to hit an API, we'll be giving a path. So this path can be given over here in the path section, how we normally do. So one advantage of here, this one is, if you see here, there's one option called input and output. Input is what is the payload, what is its type, and what is the attribute, what are the attributes available, and what are different variables available in the before this listener comes in, and what is the change, how is the payload differs after this, after the listener, how the how the, for example, I'll show you here. uh, I can show in the set variable. If you see here in the input output section, you could see what is the variable name. I have given the variable name as you see here, this is setvar. Setvar is a variable where I'm trying to use substring function. Substring after, this is a small example. Substring after is a function. You see here, if you click on it, automatically shows me what is this function is about, and what is the type, and what it takes as input, what will be the output. Everything can be seen. If you go here in the functions place, this is one of the June release actually, where we are able to preview. If I want to preview it, I can just go directly here, preview my input. What is my input looks like? What will be my input output looks like after I'm using the substring after. See, the ACP demo is there. And if you want to see only the substring which is coming after the space, I can preview it using this preview button. It is taking some time. So this is a general. If you want to see preview or about functions, you have to click here within the value. If you have to click here, this new window will open up, and where this is where you can see what is the variable, what is the attributes, what is the corresponding values for those attributes. Everything you can see over here. And this function, if you want to search about any function, normally if you want to search about, for example, if there's an upper function is there, if I want to search this function, automatically it will just display. I don't know whether, I think my Visual Studio is taking time, but normally it will list out the function, and it gives the description how we see in the MuleSoft documentation, right? We can see this entire details over here. And if you want to preview how my function looks like, you can just see here. See, this is demo, previous demo. After substring, after ACB demo, after spaces demo, right? This is how my output looks like. This gives you so clearly how this function would work, how this function will respond after this substring after function. This is a great example for this, where you can see the preview, and the function will the function should list down the functionality of each of the function what we are trying to search for. Normally it should bring up, but it is not bringing up. I'm not sure, but maybe later I can show you that. But this is how any the great advantage of data weave is with this functionality, where you can see the function readily, and you also know what will be the input of this function before and what will be the output later. For example, this is payload is of type any, and after this variable also the payload will be remains as any type. And this attributes, you can see, if you see here the variable before this set variable function, there is no variable at all, but after this there could be a set variable which will be of type string. This much detailed information you can see it over here in the input output function. We normally doesn't know, right? When we try to see, we always confuse whether the output type would be string, object, array. We don't know that. This exactly pins out what is the output that comes out of the string, this set variable. That is a major advantage. And I've just added here set payload function, where it just, I'm setting the payload, I'm just trying to put a login. This is a small API. You see here, if you see here, right? Normally in our Anypoint Studio, where we design a flow, it will be always horizontally. We will be designing it here. Here we are having it as vertically, so we can see, we can reposition our screen wherever we want. That's so we can see the code as well. So for example, if you want to search the code, normally in Anypoint Studio, what we will do, we'll be going to the XML form, and we have to compare what is the flow looks like and what would be the relevant code for that. But this is coming in handy. See, you can see parallelly both screens side by side, where you can see if I click on set variable here, it just highlights the code. You see here, this is a highlighted portion. Sorry, any questions? If I want to see the code for the set payload, I can just click on the click on the function, click on the connector, automatically shows me, it highlights me what is the code for this one. So you will exactly know where how the functionality works and where this is happening, right? That kind of basic level information, everything they have set it. It's all coming to you in the front end, so you need not worry about where the code looks like, what the code would be, everything. It just comes with you. You can visually you can see it. Now if you want to, this is a simple flow. If I want to run this code, like for example, if that's a run, you can just start debugging. Once you start debugging, you could see the package how we do normally, right? In our code builder, in our studio, it just builds it and it just connects it. Once it gets deployed, we can run our postman or whatever uh, the API REST endpoint API call that you make it. You can run it. You can just call it. I will show you. So this is the screen. So this is the tab, right? This is all movable. Wherever you want to move, you can just move it. This is a kind of a debugger tool where it is available. You can move it wherever you want to, and you can keep it. And this is for step in, step out, and step into exactly what debugging mode that we see it, right? That is how this console looks like, and it's movable also. It is very convenient. Also here, if you see here, right, the run and debug, it just goes to the run and debug mode. You can see my configuration, right? This is a configuration, debug mule application configuration. This is what I have selected. So automatically picks up when you're running it using a mule application. But if you want to debug it, you can automatically reselect it to a munit debug test, where you can select the run the munits. You see here, see my application got deployed. If I want to run hit the API, I have my postman ready. I'll just show you just a small application here. I'm just calling this demo. That's a path where what I've given in the HTTP listener, and I'm trying to send the ACB demo as some input that I'm trying to send it. If I just hit this application, see the debugger mode on, and you can see all these arrows gets highlighted, and you can see what is the correlation ID, what is the value, everything you can see it. This is, see, for example, you can, it is just when I, this is a how we are to, how normally we do it in a debugging mode in our code builder is, we will be right click and we'll be adding a breakpoint, right? Similarly, how we do it in our Java code, we can just choose any point breakpoint here in the code, in the XML code. Automatically it just stops over here. See, you can see the yellow arrow mark, right? Just sees the breakpoint. And if you want to move to the next thing, you can simply, you can select next, which is step over, which just steps over to the next call. Next, it just sets the payload. For example, if I want to see the payload, you can see the variable. Initially the variable has been set, right? You can see the variable set where is equal to demo. It just sets the value, and you can just step over to the set variable. And then finally there's a logger. You can see the payload, what is the current payload, everything. You can see the payload is ACB demo. Well, that's what I said in the postman. And you can set the logger. I can use, and you can just complete it. So once the stepping everything is over, the all the these step in step over buttons all will be will not be available for you, but the output will be shown here. It's a successful response with the 200 response. This is a simple ACB demo where we are trying to send a payload and we are getting a response from the API. And if you want to see here, since it is debug mode, it is just turning into XML, right? If you want to see flow back, the flow button where you can just come click on it and it automatically brings you the flow. Any questions?
Yeah, we have a great question from Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Uganda, for really great questions. So he's asking us, like, as most of us know Anypoint Studio, do we really need the code builder? And uh, he just trying to understand. So here is like why we need the code builder, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you read the, there is a wonderful article written the Anypoint Code Builder, but the I would like to address why we need the Anypoint Code Builder. So I think it's more about the it is the Anypoint, comparing the Anypoint Studio and the Anypoint Code Builder. So Anypoint Studio, it's the integrated development environment that we all used to with it, because so far we have used the Java development environment, right? And then with us, uh, so far we have used the traditional integrated development environment that was purely based on the tool that we were very used to with it. So Anypoint Studio is pretty much the same as integrated development IDE that we have used so far, but this is the modern IDE, and also that is combined in the Anypoint Studio along with the other components that makes the developer's life so easier, because from the development engineer who is building the APIs. So that first is Anypoint Code Builder. It makes there are so many features that makes the developer's life so easier. So first is the browser based IDE that allows you to work from anywhere. Second is the earlier in the Anypoint Studio, there is no Visual Studio Code. No, so here because it's with the Visual Studio Code. It has also the advantages of Visual Studio Code extensions. Third is this is the graphical user interface to define your integration flows. So even with the web, uh, even on the browser base, you can design your integration flows in the canvas. Fourth is the central palette that you can quickly access commonly used commands for the MuleSoft, like of by accessing those commands, it will do the actions compared to IDE when compared to Anypoint Studio when you like, because Anypoint Studio is based on Eclipse IDE. We were like more used to with it. In Anypoint Studio, if you compare, you need to publish for publishing the APIs. You need to select. You have to perform the multiple steps for like publishing your APIs, like deploy in the Exchange. You for deploying the APIs into Cloud Hub, you have to go back and forth with the Anypoint platform on the browser and also on the Anypoint Studio. So that here in the Anypoint Code Builder, actually with the command palette, you just need to select the command and it will do for you. So that's a way high convenient compared to the older method. Next is code snippets that to promote the best practices, that code snippets are reusable and you can use in other projects as well. So that will accelerate the development process. Next is the validation support. We have in Anypoint Code Builder, the Munit support is available, so you can validate the scripts. Even you can automate the complete testing process as well with by building the Munit scripts and run executing in Code Builder. And also it has interactive debugger facility and also the data view support as well. So that is like all the great features, I would say. The like all so many components combined in the same Anypoint Code Builder, and along with that it has lot more features compared to Anypoint Studio. The why, I would say, why it's much more I would say preferable compared to Anypoint Studio is more, I would say, it once you habituated using the Anypoint Code Builder, then you yourself will say it is much preferable. The modern, it is truly a modern integrated development environment. And once it has the complete AI, Einstein AI generative AI capabilities, just by writing the prompt, you can have the complete API ready. So once, I think it's more about habits. Once you try your hands on more frequently with the Anypoint Code Builder, and once you have like I would say once you have 10 to 15 APIs you build in Anypoint Code Builder, you will definitely see the difference. Even though it's a beta version, you will see the difference, and I'm sure in early 2025 you will definitely prefer to code with the Anypoint Code Builder compared to any go back to the earlier method using the Anypoint Studio. And eventually the Anypoint Studio is uh, going to be uh, removed from the uh, like from the Anypoint platform and components. So I would say it's better to get habituated with the Anypoint Code Builder. That will go along. That will go in the long run. I mean, that's. I think I tried my best to give you the answer of your why question. Why the Anypoint Code Builder?
That's great explanation, Sonali. Just to add one more point, Yugendra,
Sure.
if you have worked with any point code builder, right? How many times you got your window has crashed, and how many times you have to restart the studio? It is if you are using this Visual Studio code, it is more lightweight. It is more universal. It comes with all the features. Even if it is instant AI enabled, it will have more functionality than any point code builder.
Yeah, it's absolutely correct, Nirmala.
Yeah, once
Any
I'm just for this demo, I was trying this any point code builder for last 2 weeks. I feel it's so much comfortable, and I don't want to go back to any point studio.
Yeah, I think that's the same experience that everyone will have once they start making at least 3 to 4 APIs. They will realize themselves. But this is the modern integrated development environment that will be beneficial for all.
Yes, that's
Yeah. So any other questions anybody has?
just one more thing to add on, Sonali. See, if
Mhm.
what is the rammer specific, everything, whatever you see in the visual saw in the visual studio is available in the cloud. That's a great idea
Yeah.
here. Yeah. And you can implement an API over here in the cloud within the Anypoint platform. You can click on the Anypoint code build. This is how where the Anypoint code builder comes. And I can give the artifact ID. It's so simple and straightforward. You can just click API version. You can just simply you can see automatically it immediately start the publishing it to Exchange. This is how the crowd up version of Anypoint code builder looks like. If you go to the files, you can see the files. If I want to implement a new API, immediately working on it. Similarly, how we saw in the Visual Studio, we can select the Mule runtime, and you can also select the default Java versions as well. Once it is published, it is asking me immediately if you want to implement it or not. I can just click on it, and it will say the path and what is the Mule runtime it wants and what is the version Java. install it at the back end, and you could be able to develop an easier. Sonali, do we have time? Shall I show us the demo for this M units?
If you can cover, so we are already like 10 minutes. If you can cover quickly in 5 minutes, that would be great.
Yeah, just I'll show couple. Not I will not take really more time. You see here, if you want to run the testing, M unit testing in your Visual Studio, there's an option called testing. If you have written an M unit already, you will be seeing this option. If you click on this testing, I made sure that one is a successful test and one is a failure test. Where in Anypoint Studio, normally if you want to run the test, we know somewhere it is failing, because the errors will be running in the console and we may be missing it, right? We may not be knowing where exactly the test is failing. So but in the Anypoint Studio we do have advantage. It will pinpoint exactly where the fail is happening and what is causing the failure. See, if you want to run the test, that's an arrow. You can debug the test, you can run the test. How you debug your flow, similarly you can debug the test as well. You can just click on run. Once it start, it will ask you whether the run test to be enabled. To just run all the tests if I select on the whole. But if you want to run one test individually, there's an option for a run test individually for each flow, each test flow. You can just run it, you can debug it, and if you want to see the file, the code for this test flow, you can just click on this file and it will just highlight it where exactly this file looks like, where it is placed, and what is the code looks like. So I've just made one test as a successful test and other test as a failure, just to make sure that I want to show. See, immediately after running, the build is failed because you see exactly it is expecting a type of object, but I gave a type of string. It shows me which point. See, this is the place where the test got failed. If you want more results, we just go to test. There's an option called test results. You can move to the test results tab and you can see which flow has failed and which flow has success response. Everything you can see here. If you want to click on the failure test, you can see exactly the test, the test got failed. Object type, because of the object type, it is a type of expecting a type as object, but I gave it a string. This is a small demo, but I would recommend. I would because I learned that way. I also recommend you, like if you want to go here. Uh, that's a Alex Martinez. You all know she's an Salesforce developer advocate. She has already published ACB basic M units in her GitHub page. It is public. It is readily available. You can download this code and you can start exploring. You can start testing. You can do all the changes. You can learn about it. This is more, she has focused more about June 24 release of ACB. You can have this, you can run this, you can try explore everything in your Visual Studio or even the cloud up version of Code Builder.
Yeah, this is great information, Nirmala. So Uganda, you can try test with the ACB with the code available here, and yeah, I think you can just explore.
Yeah, MUnit recording option is not there, Yugender, currently in the, but that's a plan for bring up in October release, I believe.
Yeah, so I would say this is still the beta version, and in October you can see much more features. I think along with the recording of the scripts and also the AI features. And in 2025, early 2025, you can see the full-fledged version of ACB demo project. So if uh, Yeah, we can try to share the files, the project with on the MuleSoft event page. You can visit. You can see the recordings and also the this video recording and also the codes, project code. Ravi. Yeah, so please allow us like 24 hours and I'll try to upload all the details on the event page. Anything else, Nirmala?
That's all from my end. I have just covered ACB small flow with the data weave explorer option. Sonali, also I have shown M units. I also showed how design an API from the code builder. I think most of it is covered.
Yeah, you have covered a complete sample of API designing to deployment and also the latest features of the ACB. So the data view expression builder and also the unit test. So that's amazing, Nirmala. It gave us a lot of information about the ACB. I
Thank
hope
you, Sonali.
I hope audience has also enjoyed the session and learn about the ACB. Feel free to put any questions. Send us the feedback, uh, and also we are looking forward for the next meetup in September, and we are going to celebrate Max's 10th birthday. So that will be in person, and we are looking forward to see you all in the next meetup.
Thank you so much, Sonali, for organizing. It was really good time. Even I learned ACB through the demo.
Yeah, it's a great knowledge sharing experience for us as well. So we also learn from the meetups and from our from the questions and the feedbacks and suggestions that our audience gave us.
Yes,
So
that's true.
thank you so much all. Thanks for joining this today's meetup, and we are looking forward for the next in-person meetup that is on September 5th, and we are celebrating Mac's 10th birthday. So we would like to see you all in person in September. Thank you
Yeah,
all and
sure.
have a
Sounds good.
wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Nirmala.
Hmm.
Thanks,
Bye.
Victoria.